Well, another all-time high for the week, 29 all-time highs since the beginning of 2024. We had Apple Intelligence this week. We got CPI, PPI, rate decision. You know what? Let's just start the weekly summary. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hello, my name is Micha Stocks, and on this channel we talk about stocks. We talk about the stock market. We summarize the week on our weekly summary. And just a quick reminder, everything and anything that you see here is not financial advice. It's only for education and entertainment purpose only. And if you're new, I would really love it if you can subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on, and that way you'll be notified every week that a new video is up. Here we go, summarizing the week. NASDAQ up for the week 3.47%, S&P up 1.5%. This brings them to a double-digit gain from the beginning of the year. Completely amazing, second year in a row. RSP negative on the week, 0.53, Dow 0.54, and the Russell down 1.23. What this shows us is the main gains came from the NASDAQ and not from the equal weighted, meaning that the top companies are the ones that pulled the market up. You can see here where those companies are. The XLK, which is Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, dominated mainly by them. This is the technology. After that, we have real estate, and then we have others as well. You can see the crypto market down for the week. Bitcoin down 4.8%, Ethereum down 3%. And this brings us to commodities, with crude oil up 4%, while on the other side we see natural gas for the first week in a few, down 1.7%. Between gold and silver, you don't see too much progress currently, and this brings us to the Magnificent Seven. Apple up for the week 10%, we'll see in a second why. Nvidia up 8%, Microsoft up 3%, and the only red company on the week is Amazon from the Magnificent Seven. And guess what? That brings us to the news, the weekly news, and we'll start actually with unemployment. Why? Because unemployment keeps going up, which means that labor market is starting to calm down. It's starting to cool down, which is good. PPI, Producer Price Index, also surprising for the worst, meaning that inflation is cooling down. CPI came in very low. You can see here, came in at a zero gain, meaning that inflation is falling like a rock. But after all that, you still see people piling money into money market funds, an all-time high for money market funds. Although we have 29 new all-time highs in the market. So what is going on in the market? And the question is, and the answer is that there is a lot of money on the sideline, money being generated through the stock market. And the decision where to deploy it is currently split between people that are afraid of what is going on, afraid of a bubble or anything like that. They're going to money market funds, and others that are sticking to the process, investing in the S&P 500 and seeing more and more gains from the beginning of the year. Otherwise, there's no other way to explain that. Let's dive into Monday. Monday, Apple introduced on their WWDC, Apple Intelligence. They didn't introduce anything that didn't exist on a Samsung, on an Android, on any other AI capabilities. This is Apple Intelligence, their version of AI. So they didn't introduce anything new. Why did the stock go up? Well, what they did do is the best thing that Apple can do. Wrap everything up in a wrapper, which is called iPhone. And guess what? You will need to upgrade your iPhone in order to enjoy that. And then you will have the option to rewrite your emails according to or using AI. You'll be able to search your photos in a better way. You'll be able to get more usage of ChatGPT and capabilities inside your phone with or without subscription to OpenAI. You will be able to do a lot of things. And all those things together, combined into a coherent story, is the reason why Apple went up. And of course, this will probably ignite an upgrade cycle. We heard on Friday from Eric Balanchunas from Bloomberg that we might be getting in the next 2 weeks the Ethereum ETF. We also heard during the week that the vote came in. 1.7 billion shares voted in favor for Musk pay package, while 528 million voted against. Oracle this week hit it out of the park, saying that they see revenue going up in a dramatic way, especially second half of the year. Why? Because they see their pipeline going up by 40%, saying that AI is contributing in a dramatic way for that. We heard the same thing from Broadcom, which again beat on earnings and revenue, increasing their forecast and saying AI, and showing the money behind that. Same thing we heard from Adobe. So is the bubble of AI existent, or actually is there a bubble around the people that are saying there's a bubble around AI? It's your choice to take. Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, believes that the current debt load on the US market is in a reasonable place. We see it going up in a dramatic way. She doesn't. I have no smart thing to say here except reading the highlight. MicroStrategy announces again a proposal offering for $500 million. This will be convertible notes, and then they will buy more and more Bitcoins as they do. OpenAI discusses their annual revenue, and it hits $3.4 billion. It's a private company, remind you. And this is a 100% increase in the last 8 months. AI bubble? Who knows? Paramount and Skydance Studios are no longer in talks. Paramount took a step back from the negotiations, and basically it's now trading as they were beforehand, with the overhang that they weren't able to secure that sell. European Union decided on tariffs on Chinese EVs, and they increased it up to 38%. China is going to retaliate, according at least to the Chinese Commerce Ministry. GameStop saga continues during the week. Roaring Kitty again presented his portfolio and showed that he does not have his call options anymore. He sold them in the open market and bought 4 million more shares, which makes him now the 4th biggest holder of GME stock. What is he planning to do? What are they planning to do? No one knows. This is GM. Mary Barr this week offered or increased their buyback to $6 billion, while saying that they're going to reduce their EV sales during the year, at least this year, if not next year as well. They don't see the demand, or actually their cars might not be that attractive. Who knows? Regional banks, PIMCO believes that regional banks are still, at least the ones that are exposed to real estate, commercial real estate, are not in a good position. Currently, we didn't hear anything from the regional banks, but we might hear, any minute if that is true. FDA advisors recommend Eli Lilly's Alzheimer drug, and which means that they're paving the way for that approval. Moderna presents very confident and efficiency results for the combined COVID and flu vaccine instead of having 2 different vaccines. It shows that it's better combined than separate. Warren Buffett keeps buying Oxy shares, and Anthony Noto from SoFi keeps buying his own company shares. And we will end with Michael Dell, who is selling a record of $2.9 billion only this year. That was the week. Went pretty fast. Next week, not a lot of earnings. Lennar, KB Home, Kroger, Accenture. Not. We're at the end of the earnings, which means that in 3 weeks we will get a new earnings season coming forth. What do we have on our economic calendar? We mainly have the retail sales on Tuesday, which might show the strength or weakness of our buyer. And that brings us to the S&P 500, or at least how the S&P 500 looks on the charts. You can see that we're celebrating all-time high, or closing every day on a new all-time high. We are relatively far from our 50-day moving average, and relatively far from a 150-day moving average, which means that we might get a correction just like we got a few weeks ago, getting closer to those moving averages, which is perfectly normal. It happens. Currently, the momentum is an upward upward trajectory. Tom Lee from Fundstrat believe that we will hit 55.20 by the end of the month. And again, S&P going up 14% year to date. A lot of buying, and yet a lot of money in money market funds. This is an amazing phenomenon. I'll just end with, just to take that one step further. We are in the fear and greed index, CNN fear and greed index. We are now at 38, which means that there's still a lot of fear in the market. When we are at all-time high, usually at all-time high, we see extreme greed, not fear. Usually we see fear when we're at the end of a correction. Maybe we are now at a correction. This might still go up. I don't know. I'll be here next week to keep you updated on everything and anything that is going on in the market. If you enjoyed, smash that like button, forward it to your friends, and I will be here next week, same time, same place. Till next time. Bye-bye.